Listen, when God decides to find you, you've been found. When God decides to seek you out for a blessing, you've been blessed. When God decides to drop something hot on you, can't no devil in Lodabar keep you from getting it. Tell somebody God's gonna find me. Oh, they didn't hear you. Tell them God's gonna find me. And not only is he gonna find me, Dr. Jackson, but guess what? He's gonna bless me. Yeah, he's gonna bless my socks off. He's gonna drop something on me that's gonna take me to another level. Oh, I gotta tell you, I really hate to admit this, y'all. I hate to admit this. But I'm going to be a little transparent. I told you that I really love to watch Different Strokes. And, it was my show, and I really like watching it. But I have to admit, I was a little envious. No, I was jealous of Willis and Arnold. Ain't no sense in lying and playing with y'all this morning. I was a little jealous of their good fortune. Can I be real? Can I be honest with TMC? I mean, here they are. They chilling in a mansion. They riding in a limo, going to private schools. Somebody to cook and clean behind them, all because of someone who took them in and provided not only what they needed, but also what they wanted. Now that was unusual for someone to go out of their way like that, sort of like what David did for Mephibosheth. For whenever a new king took over, he always destroyed or killed any remnants of the previous king's family because they were considered a threat to the new king's reign. So even though technically Mephibosheth was the enemy, David does not condemn him to death. Instead, he promises him that he will experience kindness. He promises him that he will experience grace. He promises him that he will experience restoration. He promises him that he will experience provision. In fact, he tells him blessings and provision are on the way. In other words, he not only gave him what he needed, he gave him what he wanted. The king sent for him, the king spared him, and the king decided to bless him. And guess what? God's got a blessing with your name on it. You need to start acting like it right now. Acting like you've already been blessed. You've already been healed. You've already been delivered. You've already come out of it. He's on your side. Tell somebody the king is looking for me. That's what David did. Look at this. This is what David did. David sent for Mephibosheth. He sent for, my God, he sent for little old crippled Mephibosheth. He sent for him, went and got him with all his baggage. He went to Lodabar and he got him with all of his problems. Hey, he sent for him in Lodabar with all of his stuff and with all of his issues. He couldn't read, he couldn't write, he didn't have the education, but the king sent for him. Didn't have the right clothes, but guess what? The king sent for him. Been down and out in Lodabar for a long time, but the king sent for him. And given up on himself, but guess what? The king sent for him. Abused and dropped, but the king sent for him. Living in a messed up, broken place, but the king sent for him. Wasn't nothing funny about his life. Wasn't nothing funny about his situation. Wasn't nothing funny about his finances, but the king sent for him and prepared a place for Mephibosheth at the king's table. And don't you know that's what Jesus is doing for us right now? He's preparing a place of blessings with your name on it. Jesus said it like this: don't let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Oh, y'all don't hear me. Believe in God. Believe also in me. For in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And when I get it ready, I'm going to come and get you so that you can be in that place. You ought to tell somebody he's sending for me. I said he's sending for me. He's coming to get me. He's got something with my name on it. He's got a blessing with my name on it. He's got something in the FedEx mailbox with my name on it. He's sending for me. That's what he's doing. He's sending a blessing for me. Got drunk, but he's sending for me. Got in trouble, but he's sending for me. Got ahead of myself, but he's sending for me. Got an addiction, but he's sending for me. Got bills as high, but he's sending for me. Got people getting on my nerves, but he's sending for me. Got people that won't leave me alone, but he's sending for me. God wrote this watch this. Here's Mephibosheth. Got a one-way ticket to the palace. My God. One-way ticket out of Lodabar. Gets to Jerusalem. My God. Gets before the king. They've hooked him up and he's standing before the king. And the king asks him how he's doing. And he says, I'm nothing more than a dead dog. My God. Gets out of all that stuff. Gets out of all of that debt, all that craziness. And he gets it from the king. And the first words out of his mouth is, I am nothing but a dead dog. Mephibosheth, he's out of the low place physically, but he's still there mentally. I'm trying to help somebody right now. He's out physically, but he's still there mentally. He calls himself a dead dog because that's what he thought of himself. He had a distorted view of his value. Mephibosheth thought of himself as a dead dog, even though he had been invited to the table. Even though he had been invited to the table, he still liked living on the floor. He has a new position. He's got everything that comes with it. He's got the money, he's got the salary, he's got the house, he's got the table. He has a new position, but he's still struggling with his condition. What's his problem? But again, let me ask you this morning, what's your problem? The problem with Mephibosheth and the problem with us is we've been on the floor too long. And when you've been on the floor too long, you've